welcome to today's edition of LendTech Live. Pamela Herman here, along with Tawn Kelley, president of Taylor Morrison Home Funding. We are so excited to have you here on the floor of MBA. Thank you for joining us.
I'm excited to be here.
Excellent. So today we're going to talk about what you guys do that's super unique in the marketplace from a lending perspective, and understand your unique niche in the marketplace. So tell us a little bit about Taylor Morrison Home Funding.
Truly it is exciting for me to explain what Taylor Morrison Home Funding is all about. What it is, Pamela, is a mortgage company that is designed to help customers make the most important buying decision and build a home specific to their need using finance as a sales tool. So Taylor Morrison Home Funding is aligned with our home builder, and we start at the very, very hello. At pre-qualification, we use our ability to be able to assess the customer's qualification based on the homes that they're looking at in a community, and just give them the options so that they understand what they can afford and what payments are and what cash to close is, and just the entire process.
So you guys are in how many markets?
We're actually in 26 markets, and Taylor Morrison has been a home builder that has gone from being private owned as Morrison Homes and Taylor Woodrow, which were two amazing home builders in the United States, owned by UK parents. And when the downturn happened, they understood that they needed to consolidate to one continent, and they chose to sell their US operations. And when Taylor Morrison became the home builder for the US, quickly became TMHC, which is now publicly traded on the New York Stock Exchange, we knew that what we had was special, and we've just continued to be very strategic in where we build and tried to do our best, whether it be the first-time home buyer to the move-up, empty nester, and baby boomers.
So is it typical for home builders to have an arm that helps with the loan processing, or is this a fairly unique niche?
It's integral. It's such an important piece of true success when it comes to a production home builder. Understanding that a production home builder builds pretty much out of their own pocket based on the credibility of the information, if that customer truly can qualify for the home that they have fallen in love with, the lot and the design and that purple carpet and the red tile that's their absolute favorite. Working with a lender, your own lender, that you have that confidence that when that house is built, that is the family that can truly close on it. That creates efficiencies, and because of those efficiencies, they're able to honor and be able to deliver product that a custom home builder would never be able to do.
Interesting. Okay, so then when we show up at those model homes and we cross the threshold and we're like, oh my gosh, I want like the whole thing, I want this model. Are you guys right there? You have representatives in those homes, or how is that relationship facilitated?
We mix automation and face-to-face people services, and what we try to do is again, hello, we're available. If it is just to understand what payments are, cash to close, why this community might be a really great community for a first-time buyer because maybe they qualify for USDA financing, or maybe they really need to understand the special qualifications of a jumbo product. Our sales associates on our builder side engage mortgage right from the very beginning. So we're through every step of the way of the buying process.
So it sounds like you guys are as much educators as you are in facilitators of getting them in their home.
We really earn our business through education, through professional guidance. Consumers always have a choice, and just because a home builder has a mortgage company, it's not assumed that that customer is going to choose us as their lender.
Is that an objection, or why?
It's not an objection. It's just really important that not only the industry, but the realtor and the consumer understand that we appreciate the choice. We embrace the choice. And if we are the right lending institution for that customer, ultimately we're going to close that customer's loan.
Right.
And happily, it's been since 2001 that Taylor Morrison Home Funding has been up and running and just been a huge success. And we range anywhere from 75 to 82% success rate year after year after year.
Interesting. So how do you guys internally control some of the costs that affect other lending institutions, and just loan origination costs would be an example?
Mm-hmm.
How do you guys internally work to manage those costs?
It's an interesting question. We live in a world that is a very stable, consistent environment, and not many mortgage companies can really say that. They're relying on mortgage rates, right?
Yes.
That really help them or hurt them be able to deliver their projections. For us, we understand our builders' universe, right? And we also know historically how many of their buyers are cash buyers that don't need a mortgage. And from there, we understand what our units are. So it's really important that we staff properly. Service is so important. So we appreciate that, making sure that we're there when the customer is interested in understanding information, or just needing their hands held, or issues that arise. We want to make sure we're staffed. So it allows us to be very efficient, because our customer is one that is like everybody else in our pipeline. They're all buying a new home, and that allows us to have not only efficiencies but processes and procedures that give us that control.
So it sounds like you invest a lot with your people in working on soft skills training.
We do.
How to ask the right questions. So what is your process for training and developing your people internally?
It's really about, and I believe it's been my biggest claim to fame, I believe in hiring the person first, the resume second. And I look for people who have the same passion that I do, that want to make a difference. And in the mortgage world, we all know there's been a lot of good and a lot of bad, right? And it's finding individuals that understand the importance of selling debt. You know, our home builder gets to sell a beautiful home, and no matter how many issues that might have happened throughout the building process, whether it be rain, snow, sleet, or hail, or construction delays, or cabinets not coming in on time, they get to walk into their new front door, and all of that bad goes away. On the mortgage,
it's like childbirth.
Yes. On the mortgage side,
they'll forget it.
Yes, exactly. On the mortgage side, though, we sell debt. Yeah. Let's be honest, nobody wants it, right. But we are really important. So I feel like we have so much more responsibility to make sure that the process is smooth and not difficult. It doesn't have to be bad. And I say this all the time to my employees. I want that customer to feel like, wow, I didn't know I was going to do business with a builder's mortgage company. I thought I was going to use my bank or my name brand that I see all the time. But thank goodness I did, because they understood what I was going through. They understood what was happening with my home. There was no surprises, and it was the right decision. And that's what we work for. So I look for employees that have that same desire and passion, that we earn each customer one loan at a time.
Well, I feel your passion, and I suspect that it's a culture that you've created,
yes.
And you will hire to a set of values. That's what I'm hearing. Because think about the CEO of JetBlue, and he said, we always like to screen for aptitude, but hire for attitude. Because, you can teach people skills.
I agree with that.
Right?
I agree with that.
Yeah.
We have a culture that I like to talk about as a culture of family. And culture of family means that don't ever do anything with a customer that you wouldn't want your family have done to them. Make sure that you take care of our customers' security of their documents, their dollars, their reputation, everything as though it was your family. We have internal family. All of our employees are each other's family. Our builder is our family. The realtor who brought that customer to our builder. We have a lot of family. And if you just remember that you take care of people the way you would want your family taken care of, all of it falls in place. So
what do you know about, because these are all the seeds of loyalty.
Yes.
So what have you guys learned through your years of experience having treated your customers in this way through referral business or repeat buyers? Mm-hmm. What have you learned about your market?
I've learned that it's not about rate, it's not about fancy programs, it's about making sure that the customer feels comfortable, willing to explain, and sometimes explain again, and sometimes explain again with a smile, because it doesn't matter whether it's a first-time home buyer or a doctor buying a $3 million home. They haven't gone through the mortgage process recently or if ever, and nobody knows what to expect unless you're really doing it today.
Exactly. And I love your worldview, because to me it's all about setting expectations and then managing those expectations. And it's a tough journey for buyers. It's a very difficult, process laden journey to get into your perfect home. But it sounds like you guys have done an extremely good job of meeting the market from this place, right? It's about this.
Yes, it's about that. And you know, I think that this is very important. It might sound cliche, but when the customer says you failed them, you don't get the chance to say you didn't. You know, and when you have recognized that you didn't meet expectations, you need to learn from it.
Absolutely.
And chances are it's about communication. So you can have the best technology in the world, you can have the best new automation, but if your customer doesn't feel connected and communicated with, none of it matters.
It's so funny, because I always say, if buyers are out there shopping price, then you're no different than salt or gasoline.
That's exactly right.
Right? So the only differentiator between you and anybody else out there in this space that are helping people get in their homes is who you guys are at the people level.
That's exactly right.
Sounds like you guys have nailed it.
I hope so. We're earning it, one customer at a time.
I love it. I love it. Thank you so much for joining us, Tawn.
Such a pleasure.
Pleasure is all ours.
Thank you.
For more information, check out their website. It's absolutely beautiful. I think you guys set the high water mark so far in my worldview on meeting the borrower expectation. Join us again on LendTech Live, where we explore the big dividends of profitability in mortgage lending. Thanks for joining us.